Before we jump into writing specifically for email, let's talk a little bit about writing for the web in general. Email is just one part of your marketing mix. It's one type of content that you publish online, and I'm going to share some principles and tips to make your writing more effective. My number one writing principle is be clear. Clarity comes first. It comes before cleverness. It comes before personality. It is important that when you're writing for any web project, that you know what you want to say and you figure out how to say it in a way that people are going to understand. It helps to start with a question. Start with, what do I have to say to my readers? What do they need to know? And then read your draft back to yourself and say, does this answer the question? Sometimes it's helpful to read it out loud. You can even use some sort of a text-to-speech tool to have it read back to you in a different voice. That's especially helpful because that's the way some people are going to experience your content in the first place. It's also important to be concise. When you're writing for the web, use short, simple words and sentences and write in a way that people will quickly be able to understand. So instead of using words like compose or author, you might want to say something like write. Instead of saying purchase or acquire, consider saying buy, and use that same sort of principle when you're writing sentences. Another part of being concise is avoiding fluffy language that you don't really need in your sentences. So think about words like artisanal, powerful, revolutionary. Those words don't carry a lot of weight. They don't mean much. So you can go through your draft and take out any fluffy language. When you're writing on the web, every word counts and every word should carry a lot of weight. So be careful with adjectives and modifiers. It's easy to overuse descriptive words and leave your readers feeling unsatisfied or not really believing whatever it is that you have to say. So when you find fluffy language like that, replace it with concrete concepts and ideas. Before you sit down to write anything, ask yourself, who is going to be reading this? What do they need to know? What do they already know? And write to them where they are, filling in any gaps for them, explaining any concepts that they might not understand, and most importantly, giving them the information they need and only the information they need. Write how you speak. The general communication principles that you follow in your everyday life, things like be nice, be friendly, be polite, use transitions. All of that applies to your writing too. A simple please or thank you goes a long way. One of the biggest challenges I see with web writing is people trying to say too much at once and include too many concepts, too many ideas, too many things on one page or in one email or in one message. This is a problem because it makes it hard for people to take in whatever it is that you're trying to say to them. They don't know what matters most, they don't know what to read first, and it can be overwhelming for the reader. There are a couple of things you can do to avoid that problem. First, you can use an outline. Outlines don't have to be overwhelming or complicated. You can write a very simple outline. It can be a bulleted list. It can be a couple of key concepts that you want to include in your message. And just check your message against that outline, against those concepts, and make sure you're communicating whatever it is you want to say. You can also use an editorial calendar if you find that you're having trouble focusing your message and you have a lot to say at one time. An editorial calendar can help you portion out your messages so you can address one thing at a time. The other big challenge I see when it comes to web writing is people overwriting and focusing so much on the way that they're saying what they have to say that they completely lose sight of their message. Effectiveness is more important than entertainment. When we're writing for the web, we're communicators. We're not writing for writing's sake. We're not writing to entertain people. We're trying to communicate specific ideas to specific audiences. So focus first on clarity. Focus on your goals, and your style will follow. And what I love about conversational writing is that anyone can do it. Whether you're a professional writer or a new writer, maybe a reluctant writer, you can take the communication skills that you already use every day and translate those to the page. There's nothing else you need to learn. This isn't about grammar or writing rules and regulations. It's about making sure that your natural human voice comes through in everything you publish. As you work to refine your style, keep in mind that you're the expert. You know your business, you know who you are, you know your strategy, and you know what's going to make your business successful. What we're talking about today is making sure that all of that comes through in your writing so that everything you publish can be as effective and as engaging as possible.